Hello transcribers, and welcome to our channel of transcription exercises. Today we'll do an exercise about countries and capitals, not the famous ones that you already know of course, but some of the more exotic ones that you may not know and are unlikely ever to go to, although you never know. First, a quick word from our sponsor, the FTW Transcriber, about just one of its features. Imagine you type for two clients. One of them wants timestamps added every 20 seconds, looking like this. The other wants them added at the start of every new paragraph and looking like this. Does that mean that every time you want to switch and work for the other client, you have to manually change your settings? No, because with the FTW Transcriber, you can save different settings for different clients. We call that configurations. You can even send your configurations to other transcribers. Dead easy. Alright, let's start. So on the next screen you'll see a map of the world, or a section of it, and there'll be an arrow pointing to a country. The first thing you need to do is to identify the country. Here we go. So where do we think that place mark is? It's not on Saudi Arabia, it's a little place to the north of Saudi Arabia. Any ideas? The picture is a clue. You can see that oil is going to be involved here. So it's one of those little oil-rich countries. Here's a clue. The capital is Manama. Any ideas yet? Here is a sentence for you to listen to which contains the name of that country.
Oil exports from Bahrain have created rapid modernization and infrastructure development.
Okay, did you catch it? Here's the answer.
Oil exports from Bahrain have created rapid modernization and infrastructure development.
Yeah, so the country name is Bahrain, sometimes pronounced Bahrain. That's how they say it in Arabic, I think. Okay, number 2. There's the arrow pointing to a little place in Asia. Do you know what it is? The capital is Thimphu. And if you haven't got it yet, here's a sentence which contains that country name.
Tourists visit Bhutan to experience peaceful monasteries in breathtaking mountain settings.
And here's the answer.
Tourists visit Bhutan to experience peaceful monasteries in breathtaking mountain settings.
So the answer is Bhutan, which is a little kingdom up in the Himalayas, and it's famous for monasteries like that one in the picture. And apparently Bhutan is not a very well-off country, but it's a famously happy country. They rank very high on the happiness index. I can only envy them. Number 3. Have a look at the map. What's that place there, that landlocked country? I'll give you a clue. Its country name is made up of 2 words. Here comes the capital. The capital is Ouagadougou. And here is a recording which contains that country name.
Many villages in Burkina Faso showcase beautifully crafted mud building techniques.
And here's the answer.
Many villages in Burkina Faso showcase beautifully crafted mud building techniques.
Yeah, so the villages in Burkina Faso are quite often made of mud, and there's a picture there of exactly that. So country name is Burkina Faso. I think it used to be called Upper Volta because the river Volta runs through it. Number 4. What's that little place? It's not South Africa, it's not Mozambique, it's somewhere that's on the border between the two. The capital, there are 2, it's Mbabane and Lobamba. And here's a sentence that contains the country name.
Tourists explore Eswatini's lush landscapes through hiking and guided nature tours.
So the answer is?
Tourists explore Eswatini's lush landscapes through hiking and guided nature tours.
Eswatini, which I think used to be called Swaziland. And it looks like an absolute paradise there in that picture. I don't know if it really is. So Eswatini is the answer. Number 5. What's that place? A bigger country this time. Is the picture any clue to you? It's somewhere in the Caucasus Mountains, you can see from the picture. The capital, Tbilisi, or Tiflis, they call it in their language. Here's a sentence that contains the country name.
Georgia's mountain villages are dotted with iconic towers and medieval homes.
And here's the answer.
Georgia's mountain villages are dotted with iconic towers and medieval homes.
Yeah, so the answer is Georgia, which of course is the same as the US state, but don't confuse the two. So the country is Georgia. I think it's called that because St. George is their patron saint, just like England. And I think their flag is the red cross on the white background, same as the English flag as opposed to the British flag. And Georgia is famous because of those medieval towers, which were houses, but also they were for protection, for self-defense. Number 6. So now we're looking at the northern tip of South America. So what's that country there? Clue for you. The capital is Georgetown. The picture is also a clue. That's something that the country is famous for. Let's have a listen.
Many chefs prefer Guyana's demerara sugar for baking and sweetening drinks.
And here's the answer.
Many chefs prefer Guyana's demerara sugar for baking and sweetening drinks.
So the country is called Guyana, used to be a British colony, and it's famous for demerara sugar because the river Demerara flows through Guyana. Demerara sugars, most people just call it brown sugar. Okay, number 7. What's that place? So we're somewhere in Central Asia. It's probably one of the stans, isn't it? It's not Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan or Turkmenistan because those, or Afghanistan, because those are on the map. Look at the picture there. Look at the kind of traditional tents that they have. The capital of this country, Bishkek, I think it used to be called Frunz. And here's a sentence containing the country name.
Many families in Kyrgyzstan still use yurts during summer grazing seasons.
And here's the answer.
Many families in Kyrgyzstan still use yurts during summer grazing seasons.
Yeah, so the country is Kyrgyzstan, and their traditional tents are called yurts. They're actually fashionable now in the West for people to go on glamorous camping holidays. So the country is Kyrgyzstan. A lot of people live in a house during most of the year, but in the summer they go and live in their yurt. Number 8. So this is the Indian Ocean and a country of islands there. The capital, and you can see it's a holiday destination from the photograph. The capital is Malé. Have a listen.
The Maldives beaches offer perfect conditions for diving and sunbathing.
And here's the answer.
The Maldives beaches offer perfect conditions for diving and sunbathing.
So the answer is the Maldives, quite a well-known country these days. Now it's an expensive holiday destination. Didn't used to be 30 years ago, as far as I know. It's quite a recent thing. Nowhere in the Maldives is more than 3 meters above sea level. So if sea levels rise, then they're at risk. Number 9. We're in Southeast Asia now. What's that country? Quite a big country. The capital is, and I had to look this one up, it's Naypyidaw, apparently. Does that help? That's the new capital. The old capital was Rangoon or Yangon, in case that helps. So let's have a listen.
Shwedagon Pagoda is considered Myanmar's most sacred Buddhist religious site.
And let's see the answer.
Shwedagon Pagoda is considered Myanmar's most sacred Buddhist religious site.
So the country name is Myanmar. It used to be called Burma. Some people still call it that. And in the picture there you can see a marvellous Buddhist pagoda, Shwedagon Pagoda. And lastly, number 10. Where's that? Back to the northern part of South America here. And what's the capital? The capital is Paramaribo. And let's have a listen to a sentence that contains the country name.
Suriname's plantation houses once oversaw sugar, coffee, and cotton production.
And here's the answer.
Suriname's plantation houses once oversaw sugar, coffee, and cotton production.
So the answer is Suriname, which used to be a Dutch colony, and people went there and set up plantations to grow sugar, coffee, and cotton. And that's it. There, I wonder if any of you were able to identify all the countries just from their positions on the map. If you did, then well done. I wouldn't have been able to. I'm afraid at my age I don't want to go to most of those countries. I only really want to go to the comfortable ones. I would have gone when I was young to most of those places. In fact, I did go to Pakistan, the Philippines, China, Egypt, and it wasn't always easy, but I always had a good time. And that's it for today. Please like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications of future videos, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.